It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Monday, the 19th of May. I'm Michael Groff. Temperatures heating up for the week ahead. And you know what happens around here. Once we start consistently seeing high temperatures up in the triple digits, it gets there, it stays there. Do we have any more breaks in the heat? We'll talk about that. Plus, there's some forecast uncertainty for this upcoming holiday weekend because, of course, there is. What would a weather discussion be without that? And so much more to talk about, so let's dive on in. First, the almanac from yesterday. 86 degrees, the afternoon high for your Sunday. That's not too bad. 67 the morning low. 95 and 70 are now the averages for this time of year. As we take a look outside right now at 8:45 a.m., mostly sunny sky. 75 degrees. That doesn't look right. Let's see. I think I have the updated temperature for you here. There we go. 79 degrees is the current temp at Sky Harbor. Dew points 37, humidity 23%. The winds are light. The barometer is steady. All right. Temperatures around the area mostly in the upper 60s. Well, actually, I see a 62 at Thompson Peak when I pulled these numbers. I put together this graphic about a half an hour ago, a little less than that. Upper 60s and 70s for the most part across the area right now. Satellite picture out here across the west. And we've got high pressure building in once more. That area of low pressure that brought in these somewhat cooler temperatures on Sunday, that is now moving on out. And so as a result, with the ridge building in, temperatures are going to be heating up. And with mainly clear sky around here, at least for a little while. Here's that watch warning map. Red flag warnings across eastern Arizona, New Mexico, West Texas. Some wind advisories there as well with that system moving from the Rockies into the Plains states. And the threat of severe storms out across the plains today. We have to worry about that. It was not a good weekend. The last several days across Missouri, Kentucky, some of the adjacent states. London, Kentucky, absolutely just devastated by tornadoes. And so for today, we've got that moderate risk of severe storms, level 4 out of 5 defined by the SPC for places like Oklahoma City, Broken Arrow, Tulsa, up toward Joplin, Missouri, and over toward northwest Arkansas around Fayetteville and Harrison, Arkansas. So in that zone, that's the highest probability that you'll find some violent long-track tornadoes, but even the enhanced risk extends further to the north. So anywhere in those two zones today, that orange and the red area, all modes of severe weather possible, including strong damaging straight line winds and large hail. Those are the most likely outcomes, but there could also be a few violent tornadoes in those areas again today. Here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Monday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing statewide, ostensibly nothing region-wide, not much. It's late May in the southwest. The storm track is to the north, and it looks like we are going to enter into an extended period of dry weather. Now, there is some forecast uncertainty, and we will talk about it right now as we get to the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. This is the GFS, the 06Z run. This is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. There's that area of low pressure, that fairly strong trough moving out into the plain states. Pretty typical setup for this time of year. That's going to bring the chance of some strong storms and some cooler air behind it. So what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, you're in the valley, sunny, breezy. We'll see those winds fairly light this morning, but picking up out of the west this afternoon, 10 to 20, could see gusts to 30 miles per hour. So not a bad kite day, I would say, and maybe some stronger winds for northern Arizona, and certainly in the eastern part of the state. And obviously, we have to be concerned about the wildfire risk. Obviously, some blowing dust, a possibility out over the open deserts. High temperatures today, low to mid-90s. Unfortunately, we just didn't get the cooler air that we expected. Well, we did yesterday, but it just didn't last. And that is unfortunate, but that's the way of the world this time of year. For tonight, clear sky, breezy in the evening, then the winds will die down. Northwest wind 10 to 20 in the evening, gust to 30, but then becoming northerly and light overnight with lows mostly in the 60s to near 70. And then tomorrow, sunny, a little warmer, highs mid to upper 90s. And then we're going to see some pretty consistent readings over 100 degrees. It looks like highs upper 90s to about 103. On Wednesday, the sky is mostly sunny. Thursday, same thing, sunny, highs 102 to 106. Yeah, we'll put the H word in the forecast, just plain old hot. Let's go to Friday. Still highs anywhere from about 100 to 105 degrees, but some increase in high clouds is expected. Now, this is where the forecast uncertainty does start to come into the mix. And the GFS, actually all of the deterministic models have sort of struggled, and we've seen a hodgepodge of solutions for this weekend. In regard to an upper low, a weak upper low, or maybe an open wave kind of developing and just sitting here over the southwest through the weekend. Now, sometimes you might think, well, that could be interesting. That could lead to some rain chances maybe. Probably not. In fact, the overwhelming majority of guidance is dry, especially for here in southern Arizona. We're not going to see anything. But there could be some mid and high level clouds, and Saturday we'll call it partly sunny, high temperatures. Still probably around 100 to 104, a little bit lower on Sunday, maybe highs. Well, we're going down to around 100 degrees on Sunday. And we may need to adjust these numbers. I mean, we've seen, again, slight differences based on cloud cover and maybe even a little bit of moisture transport. But at this point, the forecast looks dry, maybe some light breezes in the afternoons. Fairly typical late May weather, albeit temperatures somewhat above seasonal averages, but not record-breaking by any means. Let's keep going. This is a week from today, Monday, Memorial Day, the 26th. Got a ridge around, maybe still an upper low lingering around, or an open wave, but overall, dry conditions, temperatures, highs I'd say somewhere pretty close to 100 degrees. And that brings about an answer to our trivia question. So I asked you guys the other day on Friday, in response to a social media post I saw, the National Weather Service said, expect highs for Memorial Day a little bit above average, maybe topping out above 100 degrees. And people say, I saw some responses, it's always 100 degrees in Phoenix on Memorial Day, which of course I know isn't true. But I wanted to look into that further. So in 129 years of Memorial Days here in Phoenix on record, I asked, how many times have we had a high temperature at or above 100 degrees on Memorial Day? And we got a hodgepodge of answers, quite a mix. People saying as few as 5 days, some as high as 67. I got one in my email. Somebody said 70. So we got quite a few. One came pretty close. Somebody said 46. And the answer is 40. 40 out of 129 times, which actually was a little bit surprising to me. I thought it'd be a little bit more. Before I looked, I was thinking it'd be about 60, about almost a little under half the time. But actually, it's 40 times in 129 years of record keeping we have topped out at or above 100 degrees on Memorial Day in Phoenix. The hottest temperature ever recorded on Memorial Day, 114 degrees. The coolest high temperature ever, and I lived in Phoenix for both of these, in 2019 and in 1988. The high was just 79. And we've had a low temperature as low, I believe, as 51. So Memorial Day, you can get quite a mix of weather. And by the way, here's another question. Here's another trivia question I'll throw out there for you guys. Now, 129 years of record keeping. How many times has it rained on Memorial Day? And by rain, we'll extend it out. We'll say a trace or more. How many times has there been a trace or more of rain on Memorial Day in 129 years? Well, give your answers in the comments. All right. So that's Monday. Let's keep going. This is Tuesday, the 27th, and that looks dry and warm. Temperatures upper 90s to around 103, if that's right, going out 10 days. This is Wednesday, the 28th. Very weak little baggy trough is shown to be moving in here on the GFS, and we've seen just solutions all over the board next week. So not going to put a lot of stock into that. If that's right, temperatures might fall off a few degrees, but not anything significant. And it could be breezy, but no precipitation, obviously, and it'll look like that. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix. This goes out through the, let's see here. This is going to go out through the 2nd of June, and this is off of the GFS Ensemble, and you've got 31 members, and only about 5 of them show any rain. European Ensemble, 51 members, and absolutely El Zippo, nada, 0, niet. That's crazy for the next couple of weeks. Temperatures off the National Blend of Models doesn't get more consistent than that. There could be a little bit more fluctuation in day-to-day high temperatures than this, but you get the idea. Daytime highs will be ever so slightly above average, but nothing ridiculous for this time of year as we close out the month of May. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube and make a monetary contribution to us, or you can donate via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is my PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Also, the Venmo account is linked up down there too. And lots of ways to help and support this channel. Please do help and at least consider supporting this channel. Of course, you just watching and subscribing and commenting and liking the video is a huge help. But if you can, make those monetary contributions to us as well. And every bit of that goes into helping to continue putting on these productions for you. All right. Thank you guys. Yes. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share. Boy, I had coffee this morning too. I'm way out of it. All right, let me get to this. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check out her blogs, videos, everything Michelle related linked up down in the description, as is our streaming station, available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music. We have a lot of fun with that, so give that a look and a listen. And, it's weird. People think I have like a script or a whole thing in front of me. This is all done extemporaneously. But sometimes my brain just stops mid-video. And it was a tough weekend. I had stomach issues this weekend. I don't know. I'm a little out of it. I think I'm just malnourished. Not underfed, mind you. Just malnourished. I need to go eat something, I think. I just need a piece of toast or something. All right. My nourishment so far today has been a couple of chocolate chip cookies. That sounds great, but I should probably, some brain food would help. So I'll work on that. What you guys should work on is to just continue doing what you're doing. Support the channel. Thank you so much for doing that, for watching and being there for us. Really do appreciate it. One other thing I want to bring to your attention, and Michelle said this to me this morning. She said, you really need to highlight this on the video today. Please watch your children around water. We had another drowning over the weekend, a 3-year-old. It's not as bad as it was when I was younger. We used to have drownings, multiple drownings a week in Phoenix, but it still happens way too often. Gotta be responsible. Gotta watch your children around the swimming pool. It can happen in an instant. I get it. Just be very careful. The other thing, of course, is I always tell you at the end of these videos, stay cool, stay hydrated. Let me bring up, here's the temperatures again. Look, I know 101 degrees is not nearly as hot as Phoenix can dish out, but it can happen even in temperatures in the 80s. I got a little bit exhausted the other day just doing a walk, about 3-mile walk the other day, and it was only in the 80s, and it can happen. So if you're not hydrated, if you're not drinking water, if you're not taking some breaks, if you're not, maybe just taking a stop in the shade for a second, you got to do that. So please, I always tell you every day, stay cool, stay hydrated out there. Please be safe. And as always, you guys have yourselves a terrific rest of your Monday.